How's it going, YouTube? This is Redneck Sniper, and I recently got my 22 back from the pawn shop. It is a Savage Model 6A, also known as a Springfield Model 87, and a Ranger 110. I paid 120 bucks for it. It's a great little 22 for the money. It's got a pretty long barrel. Got two unique features about this rifle. One is it can shoot shorts, longs, and long rifles. Shorts and longs, it shoots as a bolt action by loading the rifle with shorts or longs. Bam. Well, keep the bolt handle pushed in. Shoot the rifle. Boom. Out. Back in. Boom. As a bolt action for shorts and longs. Load of long rifles, pull the bolt handle out and leave it out. Boom, boom, boom. Semi-automatic. So I'm glad I got it back out of the pawn shop. It's been in there for a long time, and so I figured I'd do a disassembly video. This will be a real short one part disassembly and reassembly, because this rifle doesn't take any time at all to take apart. I will not be taking apart the trigger assembly nor the bolt itself, because for cleaning purposes, I'm going to show you all you need to do. So take out the tubular magazine, which is one thing I like about old 22s. I'm not really much into tactical or magazine fed weapons. It's got one little thumb screw. Should be finger tight. I always like to give it a couple turns with a screwdriver. And then your whole stock comes off. And there's your stock. And that's all there is to that. Let's try and find a place to set that. Next, the only thing you need to do is pull the bolt handle out and tighten up the loosen the breech cap. Keep going with it. And then the recoil spring pops out. Pull back on the bolt handle. Here's your bolt carrier, recoil spring, and firing pin. Set these aside. Pull your bolt handle out. To get this back, I like to use the back end of the firing pin to push it until it gets all the way out. Doesn't take much force. It's not going to harm the firing pin because it's the back end. And there you go. There's your bolt. Extractors. I have had a problem where my extractors have broken before, but they're not really that much trouble to put back in. They're just about like any other extractor these days. So there's a bolt, and that's pretty much it, honestly. Now, if you want to go about taking apart the trigger assembly, there's really no need, because most of the major components are accessible now. But you would start by taking off the screw on the sleeve spring, and then drive out this pin for the solenoid, and then the rest of the pieces will be accessible, and there's no need to go any further than that. But I'm not even going to bother doing that, because there's really no need, because all you need to clean, for cleaning purposes, this is all you need open. So no need to take the rest apart. So let's put it back together. That was it. Let's put it back together. Push your bolt back in. This is the bottom part of the bolt. So slide it in, push it in, pull the trigger down, then keep pushing it in. Use the back of the firing pin again because my fingers aren't long enough. Then most of them have a round metal bolt handle. When I bought this one, it has a plastic bolt handle that looks similar to the M1 Carbine's bolt handle. And I kind of like this. It's easier to pull, but if it was made of metal, I'd love it. And I might make one in the machine shop when I get a chance. But for right now, this one will do. Close the bolt as much as you can. The back of it lays in here and then slides in like this. If you look in the back, and see where the little light is, there's a cutout for the firing pin to go in, and you just slide it in like that. Then get your cap, compress the spring, and thread it in. Put it back in the stock. Tighten this up, and you can just leave it hand tight. You don't really need a screwdriver, but I like to give it a few turns so it doesn't come loose. Then put your tubular magazine back in, and there you go. Savage Model 6A. Great little 22. These things are tack drivers, and I really love them. And the other unique thing about this that I forgot to mention before we took it apart is when you're shooting semi-automatic, if you shoot and leave the trigger held down, the bolt will stay back until you let go of the trigger. And they got the name click-clack guns because of the sound they make because of it. Another thing I like is the vents on these make these 22s, even for a 22 shooting supersonic ammunition, it is still extremely quiet. I haven't shot subsonic with it yet. I'm interested to find out how quiet they actually would be, but the only disadvantage of these is sometimes you get some unburnt powder when you're shooting semi-automatic and comes back and blows on your hand, but it doesn't really hurt that bad. It'd be alright. It's got one more thing before we sign off. It's got two holes milled in the side of the receiver for the bolt handle. You pull it back and push it into that second hole, and that's how you keep the bolt back, just for people that don't know. Then pull it out. If the bolt's pushed in, or if the bolt handle's pushed in, it won't come back. And that's how you shoot semi-automatic. Or bolt action, I mean. That's how you shoot it with a bolt action. Leave it in, pull the trigger, out, back. And to disengage it, pull it back to a half cock. You'll feel it want to stop. Then pull the trigger and let it go. So that's my Savage Model 6A. Really glad I got it back because it's a really nice, fun 22. I do prefer this to the Marlin 60 and the Ruger 1022 because it's just an odd old gun, and for a sub $250 or for a sub $200 22, and in a lot of places a sub $100 22, you really can't go wrong. It's a great gun. If you ever find one in your local gun shop, I strongly suggest picking one up because they're beyond worth the money. And the only reason I think these aren't as collectibles is because not many people know about them. So thanks for watching. This is Redneck Sniper, signing out.